Family reunions are hard, especially when they're unhappy families. As some of you know, I went to see Tomb Raider instead of watching this episode live. I regret that.
Welcome to the heart of the stories we tell. My name is Rob, and tonight I will be reviewing
Gotham Season 4, Episode 14, A Dark Knight Reunion. Ivy picks her next targets, and Lucius and Gordon are still on her tracks. Lee has a little bit of a showdown. Oh yeah. And then Bruce finally gets some thoughts in his head. Some good ones. But I have to admit, I didn't see him throwing that mask in the fire at the beginning of the episode. That was kind of weird. But alright, so this whole episode's theme really picks up when Lee is told, I said it was family, not a happy family. But for those of you that don't know what I do here, I review stories as they come up, and I do theory videos. There'll be one later tonight. And what I do is I just come up with how and why we tell stories to try to get to the heart of how we tell stories and why. If that sounds interesting, click subscribe as the shadow of Ra's al Ghul is falling even more over Gotham. Lazarus Water and Poison Ivy and everything going on with a Dark Knight rising. Well, maybe not yet, but we're getting there. Gordon, Alfred, Bullock, and Fox all running around, trying to help out, trying to do what they can. Oh yeah, and then there's always the bad guys. And is this Butch or is this Grundy? Well, either way, we have a lot going on tonight, and before we get to it, let's throw this up there to get started.
So once again, it's stop. Spoiler time.
So we still don't have the answer to the question I asked last week. What exactly is Project M? Alright, it uses the Lazarus Water. But what was the miracle it was supposed to be performing? Alright, so either way, Poison Ivy has it now. And she's gone all on full crazy supervillain. Even sending a tape to the news to broadcast her crazy thought process. And that feels like a Batman villain to me. I mean, not just a prototype for a Batman villain. I mean, full on, this is Poison Ivy. She is killing people because, well, she's crazy. And she's going after Bullock. And she's going after Bullock because in this series, Bullock killed her father. And you know what? I've heard of way worse reasons to go after people in this show. I did like when they went into Bullock's, oh no, we're too late. No, he's just passed out drunk. He's not dead. And maybe he might want to put on some pants if he wants to continue to fight crime today. But alright, he goes off on his own and then meets up with Selina again. But only for a quick little, hey, let's be honest here. Selina isn't exactly one for working with the cops. And as such, she didn't give Gordon what he needed to know. So now he gets this call from Bullock and instantly goes, oh, Bullock found something right away. And, I just want everyone to remember, Poison Ivy is capable of mind control, for God's sake. You'd think, especially after Selina points out, hey, you couldn't even stop her from controlling the cops, he'd realize that he couldn't stop her from controlling Bullock. Hell, to be honest, I know plenty of men that wouldn't need pheromones to do what Ivy says. But the real fun comes when Ivy delivers the message that should drive home to Gordon just how ridiculously OP her mind control is. She's able to tell someone to kill themselves. Think about that for a second. Overriding your base survival instinct. However, he, using quick thinking, asks whether her hair is more, was it auburn or more scarlet? And then that distracts Bullock enough for him to get Bullock into a hide and seek moment. And it was a pretty good action sequence. Gotham's pretty good at being able to do that, being able to give Gordon the ability to outthink his opponents. But Gordon's not our only hero this season, or, well, ever. Because remember, last week, Bruce met Batman, well, sort of. In the middle of an Ivy-induced coma, he went on a little bit of a walkabout and figured out who it is he's supposed to be, the one who was born inside Crime Alley. Now remember, he's been doing pretty good at creating the illusion of being a playboy, though, and that is going to help him in the long run, because it's going to allow him to still be that playboy as an adult. Well, no one will suspect that he's being Batman on the sly. However, at the same time, there is part of the problem when he goes in to meet Alfred. Alfred says, hey, it's easy to say you've changed. Alfred wasn't in the dream, really. Alfred doesn't know what he just went through. But he has changed, and you can see it in the way he carries himself, the way he handles himself. We're seeing much more of the Bruce I'm familiar with from the comics here. However, with Bruce so lost, he does find that there is someone that he can go talk to. And ironically enough, it's someone that he has his own little reunion with. Selina again. And for a very short scene, it has a lot of powerful moments in it. And I have to say that I might have to add her to my list of protectors of Bruce. Guidance. Now, yeah, we still have a bit of more to go, but I think that Gordon, Lucius, and Alfred are all playing a key role here. But that's where the two stories start to crash together. Well, there's a third story, but we'll get to that at the end. So, Bullock isn't quite ready to accept that it's entirely his fault. Gordon isn't entirely ready to be entirely magnanimous, but they're more or less working together. Oh yeah, and Ivy's plan is to disrupt the Wayne Foundation. Seriously, that Wayne Foundation must be attacked by terrorists more than any 10 organizations put together. But before she can, Bruce gives a pretty nice speech and then goes to talk to Alfred. And now I want to talk about who is Batman for a second. Batman is the Caped Crusader. Batman is the Dark Knight. Batman is the hero Gotham needs. But Batman has to not be about vengeance. Batman can use the darkness. And yeah, there's darkness within him. But he needs to also be light. He needs to be a hero, not just a vigilante. And that's one of the things that I think sometimes gets wrong. And I love the fact that Alfred points it out. Yeah, you see the darkness in you, but beneath that darkness is a heart of gold that wants to help people. You're not just going to stop criminals and punish them. You're going to make sure no one else goes through what you have. But okay, sorry for that little cutaway. Because then we have Ivy taking over the Foundation, just as Gordon and Bullock are, well, Gordon is getting there. Bruce goes back in order to save Alfred. But the real trick is that Alfred convinces him, this is who you are. And Batman is born! But then Batman gets shot by Gordon, and I have to say, yeah, you really need to invest in the best types of body armor. But alright, so Ivy's on the loose and has pretty much turned this whole thing into a kerfuffle. But to my surprise, it wasn't Bruce that stopped her, and it wasn't Gordon that stopped her. No, at the end of the day, this came down to Catwoman versus Poison Ivy. And it was pretty strong and pretty weird. At the end of the day, though, it showcased exactly how badass both of them are. And the fact that Selina was able to get away because she was able to out-talk Ivy was cool. As awesome as all the action sequences are, sometimes the really awesome parts of Gotham are when we get down into the nitty-gritty of the psychological thought processes going into these things. And speaking of psychos, let's talk about Arkham. Let's talk about a letter that Penguin wrote to Nigma. Well, to Riddler. As soon as he started talking about, oh, there's only one way, you have to kill yourself. I'm like, nope, there was something else in that letter. There was something hidden in the what has two eyes but can't see, just totally gave it away even more. But at the end of the day, that's okay, because Riddler's back. That's what the real crux of this is. Riddler, Penguin, and Joker, all in Arkham. This is going to be one hell of a train wreck. I do feel bad for what happened to Lee, though, especially since it really wasn't anything about her or Enigma. It was just a message being sent to Gordon. A really messed up message. I can hurt those you care about, so you gotta do what I say. So what did you think? What do you think of the psychology of Batman and the reunions that were peppered throughout this episode? Let me know in the comment section below. And especially let me know what you think is going to happen next. But of course, like and share this video because that helps me get the channel bigger and raise the community. And if you haven't already, click the subscribe button. Hit the little bell notification so that you can always get my crazy rants and concepts of how and why we tell stories. Because that's what I'm doing here. I want to talk to you guys. I want to build a community. I want to figure out how it is we can get to the heart of all of the stories we tell. But in Gotham, very specifically, we're getting to the heart of Batman. Have a good night, and thanks for watching.